watching Monty TV. I'm Jackie Karsh, sitting down now with a trifecta from Ernst & Young, Scott Porter, Jeff Grabow, and Tim Rahall. It seems like there's always a theme here at the Montgomery Summit. A couple years back, it was IoT, then it's cybersecurity. What's the theme this year?
We've been in a couple of sessions today. They're talking about the workforce of the future. What is digital going to mean in the business environment going forward? Blockchain is really a hot topic, and it's something that we've been talking about for the last couple of years. But going into 2018 and beyond, we believe that those types of technologies are really going to have an impact, a lasting impact on how companies are doing business. So those are some of the things that we're hearing here.
And one thing to remember is it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's interesting when I talk to entrepreneurs, I often believe they can do what they tell us that they can do. The question becomes, how long will that take? Are we 36 months out, or are we 36 years? Because it's just not what they're trying to do, but it's also the ecosystem. And a lot of these things are ecosystem interdependent. And sometimes we've seen solutions in the past where people have said, hey, it's going to happen, but there haven't been all the underpinnings of the ecosystem to support that. But I think there's some really interesting situations. Everyone's a technology company. Technology will impact every industry that you can think of. The question is when.
Who's going to control the market? Because it seems like these giants, Amazon, Google, they're swallowing these littler companies and bringing them under their umbrella. So does that cause problems for these smaller companies to enter the market if these larger companies are kind of dictating what succeeds?
I think it really provides an opportunity, right? I mean, companies can wait it out and try and go public, and there's plenty of capital that will continue to fund them and be patient with them as they grow. But these large tech companies are looking for innovative solutions, and so a successful exit isn't just an IPO. There are these companies that are looking for differentiation and new product offerings to supplement what they're already doing.
We're starting to see groups within some of the larger companies that are spawning off, and they're creating new companies. They are taking and being the innovators, right? So the smaller companies, we talk about it, there is a likelihood that we'll start to see some of these smaller emerging companies that will be the disruptors to a lot of the larger technology companies out there.
And there's a long history of that. And when you look at the size of the venture asset class, the size of the venture asset class has tripled in one venture generation. So there are a slew of companies out there. 14 years ago, there was 5,000 venture-backed startups in the United States. Today, there's 15,000. And there's a variety of reasons for that, but one of the reasons for that is the promise that investors and entrepreneurs have seen the ability to disrupt, because once you get to be a certain scale, you can't compete with somebody who can move more nimbly. And so maybe the outcome is they get taken out or they do go public. And actually, we did a study that showed IPOs create more wealth than M&A does for investors.
Maybe try and stand on your own 2 feet?
Right.
Well, it's situational. If somebody provides a fantastic, an offer in multiples of what you will trade at on your first day of an IPO, the best thing they do to take the money, because it's such a great return. But if you can continue to bet and you see a great future, then continuing to play long may not be a bad way to go.
And when I'm talking with my clients here in the LA area, what's constantly coming up is, let's not focus just necessarily on the size of the organization or the enterprise. It's really about the agility, right? It's the ability to kind of maneuver, capitalize on changes that they're facing, right? A lot of this innovation, it's what the companies can do with it. That's really what's really important.